morning. It's Saturday, June 18th, and there's more insanity surrounding the riot of January 6th. Turns out that the investigators working for the J6 Commission or committee, however you want to call them, is refusing to turn over all the transcripts that it has to the Justice Department. Now here we are, 18 months after the fact, slowly approaching a November election in which the Democrats could lose their majorities. And if that happens, the J6 commission, or whatever you want to call it, will be disbanded by the Republicans. So this country, which is in dire straits right now, desperately needs cooperation between the Department of Justice and the investigators on the J6 Commission. The DOJ, which desperately wants to do its job, revealed on Thursday a deep rift with the J6 House Committee. It accused them of a failure to share its 1,000 witness transcripts. Now, while the DOJ claims that they say those documents would aid in the prosecution of people who breached the Capitol, including the leaders of the Proud Boys. So the Select Committee's failure to grant the department access to these transcripts complicates the DOJ's ability to investigate and prosecute those who engaged in criminal contact with respect to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. That is in a letter that was signed by the criminal division chief of the DOJ and the National Security Division head of the DOJ, as well as the U.S. Attorney for D.C. So you got three major officials signing this document accusing the investigators for the committee of holding back vital information in this case of insurrection. The DOJ has said that these documents are critical to their investigation. How can there be tensions between the House investigators and the DOJ prosecutors? How can that be allowed to exist? This is the first time the prosecutors directly and publicly accuse the Select Committee of undermining its efforts to impose criminal penalties on those responsible for storming the Capitol. And then, on top of this, we had Benny Thompson saying something like they weren't going to recommend any criminal activities. That was up to the Justice Department to decide. Well, how can they decide if your investigators are not providing them with critical information? Everything that your investigators on the J6 committee get belongs in the hands of the DOJ. There's no excuse for not turning everything over. So Benny Thompson goes on to say that his main priority for his members right now is to complete the hearings, which started last week, 18 months after the fact, and will continue for a couple more days. So is he saying to the DOJ that as soon as the hearings are over, you'll get these documents? I don't know if he's saying that. Says the committee prepares. So Thompson also says they intend to prepare a report in a week or so. But what good is the report if you don't have all the information? I can't trust this committee to give them an accurate report. Give them the actual documents that you have collected. Why just wait around for a couple of more weeks and then you're going to issue a report? And the way you guys are going about a lot of this stuff, I'm not so sure that that report would be super clear and super clean and get the real job done, which is convicting everybody that was associated with what went on January 6th. So this, in my mind, is a great failure on the part of the committee and the part of the chairman of the committee and the vice chairman of the committee. Why aren't they telling their investigators to give DOJ those papers. And then Thompson makes a statement. We are in the midst of conducting our hearing. We have a report to do, so we're not going to stop what we're doing to share information that we've gotten so far with the Department of Justice. We will eventually cooperate them. Well, eventually cooperating with them is not good enough for me. We have to get this thing over with quickly, and while it's still fresh in the minds of the American people, bring these suckers out there who had that riot, bring them to justice. This is not about your report, Mr. Thompson. This is about the nation and what the nation needs. So you can do your hearings, but you have to provide the information. Give them copies of everything. That won't stop you from doing your report. Your report is being reflected in these hearings, which are quite honestly from time to time pretty boring. But then nevertheless, you are delaying the conviction, the arrest, the conviction of all those people who are sitting out there waiting their turn to get to court. This is inexcusable that you are refusing to cooperate now in the middle. You're waiting to do the report. And when will your report be released? September, October? Too late, baby. Too late. The DOJ has a job to do also. They need this information. This is a typical screw-up by the government. Can't you understand that you are part of a team? Yes, you have a committee. That's a team. The DOJ is part of your team, and you have a responsibility to them also, and a responsibility to the American people to tell the story and get those people who have participated in planning this event. Planning, not only the doers, the planners, the guys behind the deal, the guys who are hanging out with Trump in his office. All those people need to be brought to justice too. Not just the people who are out on the street doing their dirty work. So I leave you with that this morning. This is a disgrace, a national disgrace that we cannot work together. It's a reflection of what's going on in this country. And it's a sorry thing that in the end, these perpetrators will get away with what I will call murder. Bye. See you in the morning. Bye.